nigga. One man on me, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods. Damn it out the clay. You wish you could.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Right, 54. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Fournette running right. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
54. Check. Watch 54. Stop your watch.
Looking to throw. Knowles. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
To Hunt, what I need?
Check right 47. I got you, boy.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Wait, the hard.
4-7's the mic.
Rose.
I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Two.
Out.
Now Cousins. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
First.
Hey, turn it up.
On second down, Cousins again. Eluding the pressure right. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And a yard at the 25-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Second turn, defense, let's go.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On first down, Knowles. Open man is Galladay, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. This is Fournette. And some strong running. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Get that quarterback. And check 3, check 3. Hey, check 24, check 24.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
12-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 20-yard line.
To hunt. 180.
50's the mark.
Black.
Big stop. Let's go. Hey, check.
Hey, seam 6. Right side.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
He was covered by Richard Sherman.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Check 50.
To hunt.
Deuce.
Right side.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's the end of the first quarter.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They come up in an offset eye. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Madison. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Hey. Ringo. Check 13. Check. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Hey, yo.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
To
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Bang, 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 bang.
Go.
Throwing his Cousins. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And his kick is indeed good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Knowles. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Knowles. Got a man. It's complete. Williams.
I got you, boy.
A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Check.
Looking to throw. Knowles. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Knowles. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Set to kick off.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 28-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
From the gun, it's again to Cook. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Jahan, what are you?
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Yellow.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Hey, exit.
Tighten up.
Where's Jahan?
Play action now. Cousins. He gets it to Thomas. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
I'm coming after you.
Cousins on target to Diggs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
All day, baby, all day.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Defense, let's get out the field, defense.
Hey, receiver.
The Twins.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Slam, slam, slam. Both sevens and Mike. Both sevens and Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up. 47.
Again, it's Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
It's complete to Williams. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing on first down. Knowles. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Got his man. It's Williams. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Off the play fake. Knowles. He's going to wind up and air it into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Let's go. Come on, set. 15 on it. 15 on it. Quit talking about it and bring it. Let's go.
On first first and 10. Knowles, he's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before break. Knowles, he's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Robbie Gould on for the field goal. A 21-yard attempt.
And Gould is able to put it through. And that will do it for this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Showing it. Tight dog. Check nine.
They'll run it with Madison. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, Knowles. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Knowles. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So don't say nothing. Check 52.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Safety hot. Like that.
On third down, Cousins. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Check.
Another try after the first down sack. Cousins buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
36.
Hey, we're good.
Mike's 56.
You ain't doing nothing.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On the ground, this is the former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 8. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Operating from the gun. Knowles, throw left side, taken in by Galladay. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knowles trying to lay one up deep. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
On 1st down, Knowles, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Knowles. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
The kick by Gold is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. Check 26. Check 26.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Wait, son.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Hey, me and you all day.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
I'm coming after you.
Wait, son.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. 2nd and 6. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
And the 49ers first down.
Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. 2nd and 2. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Back to throw. Knowles. And he'll find Golladay. That's complete. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. And that'll get him the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Let's go. Let's go, team. Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Knowles. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33.
Now that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. On the run, it's Fournette. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 3rd and short, McKinnon. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. 4-7's the mic. 4-7.
To throw, Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Alexander.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel